Today we've got 13 types of map makers in Brawl Stars and we'll be starting off with the noob. So the noob probably just started map making recently and he just wants to build some good maps, however they don't end up as great as they seem to be. The structures may be just a bit too long and the gameplay is just not that good and the map is overall pretty messy, so take into account of that when you see a noob. The learner. Now hear me out, the learner has some pretty good experience at map making, but it can definitely be improved and he sometimes makes errors and his maps are pretty playable, but they can definitely be improved. Like for example, on the gameplay, you could make it so that it's less messy and stuff, but overall he makes pretty good maps. It's just that they're not as good as the next category we'll be moving on. The competitive. Now the competitive map maker makes actual playable maps and he's really good at it, and he has definitely lots of experience, and also he's willing to help others if you ask for them. But that is not the case for everyone, and also they most likely have a map in game. If they don't, then it's because they either didn't win that many contests or they're just unlucky, or for some other reason they just don't have a map in game. The troll or the 9-year-old. Well, for these people, the goal to create maps isn't to make them competitive, but rather to have a lot of fun, depending on how you perceive fun. It can be a lot of jump pads, and it can be a lot of bushes, and it can be really chaotic sometimes, and it can also be just not fun and repetitive at all. So if you see a troll map, remember, it must have been created by a 9-year-old. The Minigame Maker. So this is the type of person that just uses the map maker to create minigames and such, either to have fun, to host competitions, or I don't know whatsoever, but they really love to be creative and I respect that. Usually the minigames that they make are really fun and you should go ahead and try them out if you know someone who's a minigame maker. The Satisfier. Now these people like to test bugs, push limits, test new features, or just to have fun in extremely big numbers, so they create a map just for that. It can virtually be anything from like 50 boxes to a whole map of schools or something like that, or 10 penny turrets just smashing down on one person. It can be anything, you decide. The bot torturer. Now these people create maps just, yes, to torture bots, but also if they want to, unleash their rage at bots, or if anything goes bad on their day, at least they have bots to take care of that. And people often do this, I don't know, with the Rico, at least that's what I've seen from many videos, and it's actually pretty fun. I've tried it out myself and it's really satisfying as long as you don't spawn on the wrong side of the map. The Copier. Now these are either people who just don't have any originality, so they copy a map that already exists, or they just want to playtest a map that is already existing, or a map that has been removed from the game, or a map that their friend made and they want to playtest it and give them feedback or whatsoever, or they just do it for fun. Regardless, I just hope that you don't do it with bad intentions. And speaking of bad intentions, look at the first letter of each map name of every single map that I've made so far. It will spell out the code. The message spreader. So this is the type of guy that uses texts on maps in order to spread a message, either a really good one or really bad one, depending on who you're referring to and what's their message. And usually they're doing this either for fun or they're actually being serious, but most of the time these messages are written for fun and not meant to be taken seriously. I don't know why they're doing this, but I guess it's alright. The artist. So they use the map maker to create artwork, and most of the time the artwork appears to actually be really great, and really creative as well, so I respect them. Sometimes they also use the Mapmaker to create scenes for the stories that they want to cover. You can find all of these on YouTube, they exist everywhere. The Inappropriate. Alright, look, you definitely know what it is, but in case you don't, they basically use the Mapmaker for bad purposes, such as making fun of others while doing it. And usually, they're violating the Supercell TOS. The Lazy. Now, as the name implies, they don't put that much effort into their maps. All they do is maybe put some blocks on the map and call it a day. They don't even regard about the placement of the blocks, they just want to get it done with. Or they're just finishing something for later and they're just wanting to get it started to have a head start so that it's not that empty. But regardless, they're just going to delete these blocks later, right? The Nonmapmaker. Pretty self-explanatory, this is the type of person that does not make maps for a variety of reasons. Maybe they're not interested, maybe they're lazy, maybe they're just better off doing something else than making maps, and that's totally fine, but why are you watching my channel? And that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave down below which type of map maker you are, and as always, have a nice day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.